Oh, yes. Okay. Thank you. Welcome, everybody. So we're doing restore and give energy back theme this evening. Thank you, Nikki. So we're going to start with some pranayama. So just get comfortably seated. Make sure your torso is free. And just bring your shoulders up to the ears. And just push them back. So feel the shoulder blades squeeze together and push the shoulders down. So depress the shoulders away from the ears and then just let them settle, but trying to keep them more back than they usually are. So the chest feels nice and open. And as you do that, check you've not overarched in the low back. That often happens. So just drop the tailbone, connect your deep core muscles without losing that open chest. And gently draw the chin in slightly. So you feel like the sides of the neck are long. And just let the hands rest in the lap, on the legs, wherever's comfortable. Maybe just consciously close the eyes and just take a moment before we do anything. Just get still and quiet. And just check in with your body. How's it feeling this evening? What's your energy like? Got any sense of headache or busy mind going on? What's the mental plane doing? Just reflect on your day. Has it been busy, stressful? Has it been sedentary, a bit stagnant, sluggish? Or whatever it's been. Just noticing how that's left you feeling in body, in mind, in emotions before we start the class. So just in particular, notice your energy level. Our theme is to kind of top up our energy this evening. So just notice your starting point. Where are you starting from? Even if you're feeling pretty energized, that doesn't mean we still can't top it up even more. So we'll just do 2 breathing techniques this evening. So first of all, we'll do, you can open the eyes if you wish at this point, or you can listen with the eyes closed. We'll do a very dynamic breath, which raises the energy. And then we'll do a balancing breath. So it's all harnessing, cultivating prana. So the first one is Bastrika. Go back a little bit. So it's very dynamic. So we start, the hands are important. You start with your hands spreading, your fingertips spreading as a big inhale. As you exhale, it's a sharp exhale out through the nose as you make a tight fist and pull your hands down to your shoulders. But it happens very quickly. And then we breathe in again through the nose. So it looks like this. Sorry about my nose. If you've got a blocked nose, you need to blow your nose first. I'm going to blow my nose now, and then we'll go and we'll do 2 or 3 rounds. Stop whenever you need. Very clearing for the nose, by the way. Mute if you don't want to listen to me blow my nose. Oh no, I have to. Sorry. Sorry about that. You might just have to cope with it. Okay. So let's do 2 to 3 rounds. So nice, dynamic, open, spreading palms, fingertips. And exhale, tight fist, bring it down to the shoulders, off we go. And release, and just let the hands rest in between rounds. Just close the eyes, take some just resting breaths, noticing the effects of the practice. This is a practice that's good to do when you feel stagnant energy, sluggish energy. It very rapidly raises the energy. And you can probably feel that in the tingling in your hands, your arms. So we'll do 2 more rounds of around 30. I'm counting 30. Stop if you need at any point. Otherwise, round 2. Don't forget to make tight fists as you come down, and really open and extend the fingers as you come up. So we're dynamic with the hands. And relax. Let the hands relax on the lap, on the knees. Some resting breaths. And just check in with your energy. Is that enough? Just stay just with the eyes closed, do some mindful, conscious breathing. Otherwise, in a moment we'll go into our final round. Really take the time in between rounds to just relax and get fully present with your inner world, closing the eyes, centering. And then one more round. Start opening the hands and then off we go. And release. Close the eyes. Notice how you feel. Any shift in the mental plane, busyness of the mind, feeling of aliveness in the body. And then we'll just move into a more calming, balancing breath. We'll do 5 rounds of Nadi Shodhana. So very different kind of feeling to this breath. Take your right thumb or left if you're left-handed and seal the right nostril and tuck the first 2 fingers in. Breathe all your air out through your left nostril to prepare. And seal the left nostril. Breathe in through the right fully. Pause. Breathe out left. Pause. Breathe in left. Pause. Breathe out right. Pause. Breathe in right. Pause. Out left. Pause. In left. Pause. Out right. Pause. In right. Pause. Out left. Pause. In left. Pause. Out right. Pause. In right. Pause. Out left. Pause. In left. Pause. Out right. Let's do the last round on your own. Just swapping the fingers and thumb after the inhales only. You want to extend the pause, feel free. Complete, no rush, just release your hands so I know. Keep going, no rush at all. If you're still going, you've already finished, just stay connected to your breath. Great, and we'll just finish with 5 slow, deep, conscious breaths. Use Ujjayi breath if you know it, constricting the back of the throat. So 5 kind of strong, dynamic, conscious breaths through the nose, in and out, just in your own time. Whenever you're complete, just take a moment to reflect on how you feel at the end of this short pranayama practice. One of the most efficient ways to change our energy, increase our energy. Such a good wake up thing to do in the morning. Notice how you feel. Hopefully energized with prana. Okay, and when you're ready, we'll meet on our hands and knees. So I think we'll do a practice in a bit of 2 halves, or we'll build up and we'll do a little bit of a dynamic sequence, nothing too much. But then at the end, we'll make sure we've got space for just a few more restorative postures to drop into that. But we'll build a little bit of heat first. So first of all, cat cow, just to awaken the spine. So inhaling to lift the tailbone, drop the belly, shoulders back. Exhale, tailbone under. Press through the hands, spread and open the shoulder blades. Keep that going. We're easing our way into our body with each movement, with each breath. Synchronizing breath and movement. We're just using these kind of opening postures to feel into your body, check in with your body, any little tweaks, niggles, aches and pains that are just making themselves known, so that you can tend to them in this evening's class. And at the end of your next exhale, just come to neutral spine. And we'll keep that going, but we'll add the leg as well. So as you inhale, stretch the right leg out and look up. And as you exhale, bring the knee and the head towards each other underneath you. We'll do this about 5 times on each side. Again, synchronizing breath and movement. On the inhale, really extend, feel like the crown of the head and the toes are moving in opposite directions. And the exhale, we contract. And then after your 5 or so, release that knee down. No rush. Great. And we'll go to the other side. So when you're ready, use an inhale to extend that left leg and look up. So the left foot just slightly higher than the buttock, maybe. Exhaling head to knee together. But focus on length rather than height as you inhale. So it doesn't matter how high that left foot gets, but really stretch the toe back. And also really focus on matching breath to movement. Anchor, yoke the breath to the movement. One meaning of yoga is to yoke together different parts of our cells. And then after a few of 5 again, just release everything down, and we'll just stretch out those glutes that we just worked by putting the hips down and the heels, coming into a child's pose, relaxing the forehead on the floor. Another way to give ourselves energy is to connect the forehead to the earth, or connect our bodies to the earth, and just let the earth receive us for a moment. Just relax into that support and give us a lot of energy. And then bringing yourselves back up to tabletop. Just do one more thing here. So when you're ready, just stretch your right leg out behind you. Flex the foot so the toes point towards the floor. And if you can, internally rotate so the toes really point down to the floor, not out to the side. Lift the lower belly up, stretch the left hand forward. If it's too much, just keep the left hand on the floor. This time the right heel doesn't need to be higher than the hip. Again, focus on length. Push out, backwards through the right heel, reach forward through the left fingertips. Keep lifting the lower belly up. Keep gazing at the floor to keep the neck long. Breathe fully. One more breath. And exhale, release. Everything down. And swapping sides. So stretch the left leg out first, and just, you can even look behind you and just see, what are my toes doing? Are they sticking out to the side? If they are, can we point them down to the floor, not to the side, to the floor? Lift the lower belly up towards the spine, reach the right hand forward. Keep the neck long, crown of the head stretching forwards, fingertips reaching forwards, and left heel reaching back. The back leg's very active and long. Lower belly lifting, pelvic floor perhaps activating. Don't hold the breath, breathe fully. One more breath. And everything coming down again. We're going to take one more child's pose, but this time take the knees wide, big toes touch. Again, just release those glutes after you've activated them. You can put the hands forward or back, whichever feels better for you. Breathe into the lower back. Breathe into the upper back. Try to relax the shoulders if you're in a passive arm position. And again, just let the floor take your forehead. If your forehead doesn't find the floor, put a block under your forehead or a cushion. Get that feedback. And then from here, once more, coming back up to tabletop. Bringing the knees and the hips, tucking the toes under and lifting the hips, coming into a downward dog. And you might just want to walk it out this evening. You might want to lift one heel, stretch the other heel down to really stretch the Achilles tendon and the lower calf. Maybe moving the hips side to side a little bit at the same time, if that feels good. Stretching the toe joint as well as we do this. And then both heels descending. Spreading the fingertips, spreading the toes, anchoring down the thumb, the base of the thumb and the base of the first finger. Really kind of have those inner wrist and first two finger and the thumb anchored down strongly. And keep that anchor as you externally rotate your upper arms away from the ears, but don't lose the inner wrist anchor. Breathe deep. Strong legs. And then from here, we're going to look forward and bring the right foot between the hands and release the left knee down. You can come onto the fingertips, use blocks if you need. You can keep the fingertips on the floor and just look forward, drawing the shoulders back, or maybe climbing the hands onto the thigh, or maybe doing it step by step. Finally, possibly reaching the hands up. Much more dynamic here. Sorry, my arms are off screen. But just my palms are together, reaching up. And we're looking up to the hands, if that's okay for the neck. Or looking forward. Breathing deep. Great. And then exhale, release the hands down and come into the half split. So just move your hips back without lifting your right heel off the floor. Walk the hands back and fold over that front shin. So we're not sitting all the way down. We're just going back as far without moving the right, as far as we can without moving the right wrist. So you need to put hands on the shin instead, or the thigh. That's available, but it's just a little bit less stable maybe. Great. And then bring the right foot down again. Just for a moment, tuck the back toe under and lift the knee and swap your right hand and your right foot. So you've got both hands on the inside of the right foot. So we're in the low lunge. You can stay here, or if you've got more space, you can start to take the chin and the chest down towards the floor, maybe taking the hands forward and starting to bend the arms. Don't force it, we're still kind of warming it up. You could also bring the left knee down if you wanted to work less dynamically this evening. Into the lizard stretch. Great. And if you've bent the arms or taken the hands forward, walking them back, lift the back knee if you brought it down, and swap the right hand with the foot over and take the right foot back to downward dog. So at this point, I want you to really check in with your energy this evening. You could stay in downward dog or child's pose, but if you have energy or you want to generate energy through dynamic movement, we could vinyasa here. We could exhale down, inhale to a back bend, exhale downward dog. So that's just totally optional. Our focus this evening is our energy, so even more than usual, just really check in about what's appropriate for you this evening. So we're in downward dog or child's pose. Just a couple more breaths here. And then when you feel ready, we're going to look forward and bring the left foot between the hands, or come onto your knees and bring the left foot forward and release the right knee to the floor, coming onto the top of the foot, rocking those hips down. So again, maybe do it in stages, just up on the fingertips, drawing the shoulders back, trying to find space at the sides of the neck here, and then climbing the hands onto the thighs, feeling that start to open that right hip a little bit more, and then reaching the hands up and feeling how that increases the stretch even more. If the balance is a problem, then just look forward. It's okay. Looking up to your hands. Try not to collapse into the lower back if you're quite open. Squeeze the inner thighs towards each other and draw the lower belly in to connect your deep postural muscles, even if it means you don't lunge as much. Feel safe around the pelvis area. Exhale, release the hands down. Flex that left foot, so stay on the heel. Don't move the left heel, just walk the hands back, take the hips back until we open out that left leg as much as is available for us. Keep the left foot strongly flexed, toes to the shin, folding over the left shin. Great. Breathing deep. And bring the sole of the left foot down, tuck the back toe under to lift the knee, swap the left hand and foot over, so both hands on the inside of the left foot. And there's a stretch. If you want to work less dynamically, bring that right knee down. Stay here or start to drop the chin and the chest towards the floor, maybe coming onto the elbows and forearms, or starting to bend the elbows, taking the hands forward slightly. Keep that back leg very active if you've got the knee lifted, if you can. Breathe deep. And then if your hands came forward, walking them back, swapping the left hand and the left foot over again. And again, your choice. You could come back to downward dog or child's pose, or you could come to the plank here, or tabletop, lower down as you exhale, come to a back bend as you inhale, and back to your downward dog as you exhale. Child's pose or downward dog, just 3 or so nice slow deep breaths here, feeling the body opening with these postures with your breath, and this allows energy to move more freely through the body and start to open. And at the end of your next exhale, look forward and step the feet to the hands. And take a forward fold. So feet parallel underneath the hips, bending those knees as much as you need, dropping the head, maybe holding the opposite elbow or just resting the arms down, drawing the lower belly in. Let's just stay down here a little longer and change it up. So we're going to go for Padangusthasana. So as best you can, you might need to bend the knees quite a lot. Hook your first 2 fingers underneath your big toe, and your thumb kind of presses into the tip of the big toe. And you can see that. So we're holding onto our big toes. And then we inhale, look up, lengthen, and exhale, fold, letting the elbows go wide. So the knees might need to be quite bent here. Allow them to bend as much as you need to find that connection between fingers and toes. Try to not let the shoulders collapse too much around the ears. Have a sense of drawing the shoulders back towards the waist, away from the ears. Free up the neck. Check you're not too much in your heels or toes. Okay, and then inhale, look up, lengthen. So straightening the arms, bring the hands to the hips, so release the toes. As you exhale and inhale, coming all the way up. Great, well done. And come to stand at the front of your mat. We've got quite a full house in person tonight. If anybody in here needs to open a window, feel quite warm here. Okay, so toes together, or big toes together at least at the front of the mat, shoulders up to the ears, back and down. Find your tadasana, drop that tailbone, burn the thighs, connect to your breath. Slow, deep breaths. We'll just do a few sun salutations again, just building a bit of energy through dynamic movement. So when you're ready, inhale to raise the hands and look up. Exhale, forward fold, drop the head, bend the knees if you need. Inhale, look up. Exhale, plant the hands, step or jump back to the plank. Inhale, plank. Exhale, lower, use the knees if you wish. Inhale, back bend, could be cobra, could be upward dog. And exhale, downward dog. If anything is just too much for you this evening, your energy, just honor your energy. You can always just stay in child's pose or shavasana until you're ready to join again. Otherwise, we're just here in downward dog for a few more slow, deep breaths. And at the end of your exhale, look forward, walk, step or jump the feet to the hands. Inhale to look up, extend the spine. Exhale, drop the head. Press through the feet. Inhale, raise the hands, look up. Exhale, and side. Straight into two more rounds. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, look up, extend the spine. Exhale. Step or jump back, plank or tabletop. Inhale. Exhale to lower, elbows in. Inhale, back bend, shoulders back, chest forward, looking up. Exhale, downward dog. Taking a few deep breaths. Oh look, my dog's demonstrating downward dog. Deep breath. And then at the end of your next exhale, look forward, walk, step, jump, feet to the hands. And inhale, so look up, really feel the stretch of the spine here. Exhale, drop the head, contracting the front body. Inhale, stay connected to the feet as you raise the hands and look up. Keep awareness in the feet and exhale. Tadasana. Beautiful. Okay, let's do one more. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lengthen, look up. Exhale, plank or tabletop. Inhale here. Exhale, it's like we're pushing the floor away as we lower down. Inhale, shoulders back, chest forward into your back bend, and exhale, downward dog or child's pose. And then connect to your foundations, really feel your hands and your fingertips spreading dynamically like they did in the Bhastrika pranayama technique, really dynamic hands here. Opening, spreading the toes. Freedom around the neck, that external rotation of the upper arms, but keeping the inner wrist and thumb and first finger outward. Use your eye breath if you can. One more breath. And then at the end of the exhale, walk, step or jump, feet to the hands, look up. Exhale, drop the head. Press through the feet, inhale, raise the hand. Exhale. Let's step to the side. We'll do some standing postures. And we'll make sure we do quite a few forward folds today, which are supposed to give you energy. But first, some side stretches. So turn right foot in, left foot out. Keep the hips facing forward. Inhale here, the arms spreading, and exhale, slide to the left, bring the left hand down, the right hand up. Look up to that top hand if available, trying to keep the torso in line with the legs. Sit Miriam. Yeah, great stuff. Breathe as deeply as you can. So doing yoga, if we do it with sensitivity and awareness to our body, will always give us energy. If we're not listening to our body, we can become depleted from our practice. But if we're listening, it's designed to increase our prana, our innate energy, vital life force, or this opening of the body. Deep breath. And then on your next inhale, coming up, and just kind of keep rumbling back until your right hand touches your right leg and the left hand reaches back. So the hips are still facing forward, the chest is still open to the front, nothing else has changed. So start feeling that stretch from left toes to left fingertips. Inhale to come up. And swap sides. Turn the left foot in, the right foot out, but try not to move the hips, but stay facing forward. Inhale, extend, exhale, slide the torso to the right, bring the right hand down, take the left hand up. Looking up if available, and forward. We try to keep the legs as straight as possible, but if you need to bend front leg a little bit, no problem. Leaving the spaciousness in the front body here, sideways on. Breathe as deeply as you can. The breath is what nourishes us, oxygenates us. And then inhale to come up. Exhale, take that left hand to touch the left leg, so just windmilling backwards really, and reaching the right hand back. Feeling that lovely side stretch. I personally find side stretches very energizing. So right toes to right fingertips, feeling that stretch. And then inhale, leading with the right hand, bring yourself up. Turn the toes to point forward. We'll do the whole sequence of prasaritas, that's 4, we'll do all of them this evening. So start with the hands on the hips, roll the shoulders back, inhale, look up and open the chest. Exhale, take that forward fold, keeping the hands on the hips as you come forward. When you get to your deepest fold, release the hands to the floor and just let the head drop. And if you're more open, you can walk your fingertips back in line with the toes. If you're a bit tighter, hands can be further forward, and you can always use a block as well to bring the floor closer. Or bend the knees, do what you need. Strong in the legs, so if the legs are more or less straight, then we want to draw up on the kneecaps, firm the thighs. We want to lift the inner arches of the feet, spread the toes. And check that we're not, again, too much in the heels or too much in the toes. Even weight distribution. And the neck is long. One more breath. Okay, and then if you took your hands back, take them forward a little bit. Inhale, straighten the arms and look up. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips, keeping the torso parallel to the floor. Inhale, come all the way up and open the hands wide. Exhale, bring the hands back to the sides and hands back to the hips. Okay, so that was A, now B. So again, we start by hands on the hips, inhale, look up, open the chest. Exhale, exactly the same, forward fold, but this time we keep the hands on the hips. So even when you get to your deepest fold, you keep the hands on the hips. You can use your fingers to just gently check you're engaging Uddiyana Bandha. Are you drawing that lower belly in? Can you feel a sense of hollowness in the lower belly, or your deep transverse abdominals engaged? Again, try to not let the shoulders compress the ears. Roll the shoulders away from the ears. Long neck. Check your weight distribution on your feet. Strong legs. And then on your next inhale, we're going to come up on one. So you just inhale, push through the legs to come all the way up. And at the top of the inhale, open the hands wide. And exhale, bring the hands down. And this time, if at any point, by the way, you need to just bring the legs in and back out again, do. But otherwise, we're just going to keep the legs wide. And this time for the C version, we interlace the hands behind the back with the knuckles pointing away from us. So now we inhale, look up, lifting the hands up and away, getting that lovely stretch across the upper chest, and we exhale, forward fold, bringing the hands up towards the ceiling. If we're more open, maybe forward as well, and just keep those knuckles stretching away from the back. Beautiful, nice everybody. So the arms are dynamic. Again, check your weight distribution in your feet. Your legs have to work harder here because we've not got the hands. Strong legs. One more deep breath, make it count. And then again, as you come up on an inhale and the knuckles lead the way. So you draw yourself up with your arms, with your knuckles. Open the hands wide again, stretch fingertip to fingertip. And exhale, hands down. And if you feel a little bit lightheaded, just give yourself a moment. If you need to bring the feet together for a moment, do. As we've got one more, Prasarita Padottanasana D. So we start with the hands on the hips. We roll the shoulders back, inhale, lift the chest, look up, exhale, forward fold, hinging at the hips. This time, when we get to our deepest fold, we release the hands and we take the same grip on the big toes that we took in Paramburstasana. So the first two fingers hook around the base of the big toe, and the thumb kind of presses into the tip of the big toe. The elbows go wide if you're quite open. And again, check that compression of shoulders around ears. Draw the shoulders away from the ears. Let the neck be long, top of the head just descending. Check your weight distribution on your feet. If your legs are more or less straight, firm the thighs, draw up on the kneecaps. And breathe deep. Same instructions. And then on your next inhale, straighten the arms and look up. Exhale, bring the hands to the hips, keeping the torso parallel to the floor. And inhale, come up, opening the hands wide, fingertip to fingertip. And exhale down to the sides. Well done. You can step or jump if you've got high energy. So bring the feet together. And then you will just shake out the ankles a little bit there. Okay, so time check. We'll just do. My dog's off screen, right in front of me, doing some ridiculous kind of dog yoga at the moment. Okay, so we'll just get one more side stretching. So we're going to turn the right foot in, nice wide stance, right foot in, left foot out, hips face forward. Reach fingertip to fingertip as you inhale, and exhale, bend the left knee. Just widen the feet as much as you need so that the left knee is above the ankle. And we're going to come into Parsvakonasana. So you can have your left elbow on the thigh, right arm is close to the ear, palm facing the floor. If you've got more openness in the hips, that left hand can come down to the floor or block on the outside of the foot. And open the chest by looking up to the top hand. Again, feel the stretch from right, or this time the little toe edge of the right foot to the right fingertips. You're really getting energizing by opening these kind of energy lines in the body. Side body opening. One more breath. And then leading with the right hand, inhale, bring yourself up, straightening that left leg. We just go straight to the other side. So turn the right foot in, the left foot out, hips stay facing forward. Inhale, fingertip to fingertip stretch, and exhale, bend the right knee. Just check your right leg, is the knee above or behind the right ankle. Right elbow to thigh, or hand to the floor, left upper arm close to the ear. Palm faces the floor, look up to your left palm to open the chest to the ceiling. Anchor down your little toe edge of the left foot and feel that stretch from that edge to the left fingertips. It's really nice. And one more deep breath. And then inhale, pressing through that right leg, leading up with the left hand, coming up, walking the feet in. Just come to stand in Tadasana, spreading the toes, with a nice amount of standing posture. So we'll just do one balance and then come down to the floor. So let's do another way to kind of find energy is really opening the heart space, the chest. So we'll do two options here. Just quickly show you. You can just stay with keeping the heel to the buttock. This is a lovely opening for the front thigh and hip. But if you wish to go into Nathalajasana, we're going to hold at the top of the foot in the palm, holding the big toe edge, press the foot into the hand and lean forward. So the leg is working hard here. Okay, so You only do Natarajasana if you're feeling that. Listen to your energy. We'll all start with stage 1 and see how we feel. Okay, so balance on the left foot first. Feel your left leg strong, drawing up left hip in, connecting to your core. Pick up the right foot behind you with the right hand and see if you can hold the top of the foot with the left hand as well and squeeze the heel into the buttock as you try to drop the right knee so that it's in line with the left knee. So stay here if you wish. This is a great release for the front of the hip and thigh. If you wish to move into Natarajasana, release the left hand up close to the left ear and just spin your right hand so the top of the foot's resting on the palm and you're holding the big toe edge, and then we start to push the right foot into the hand. That's going to draw the right shoulder back, and at the same time maybe start to tip the weight forward slightly, but keep the left hand in line with the left ear. Just go as far forward as is right for you, and take a few breaths. And when you are ready to come out, see if you can come back out via that first stretch. So you might have just stayed here the whole time. So come back through that, squeezing the heel to the buttock, front thigh release, and then release the foot down. Well done. Let's see how the other side is. So spread the right toes, feel the thigh, feel strong in that right leg. Pick up, as the weight goes into the right leg, try not to let the right hip just drop out to the right. Keep everything kind of sucking into the center line. Pick up the left foot, squeeze the heel to the buttock. Take the right hand back to the top of the foot as well, so if you can, and drop the knee in line with the right foot. Notice if this side is tighter or easier or more or less the same. Staying here, or Natarajasana, right hand comes up next to the right ear and it's going to stay there, spinning the back hand so you're holding the big toe edge. Push the left foot into the left hand to draw the left shoulder back, maybe taking the weight forward slightly, keeping the right arm in line with the ear. Try not to let the arm drop forward. Don't forget to breathe. This is very energizing for opening the left side of the chest. When you're ready to come back out, try to come back through stage 1. Easing heel to buttock. Don't worry if you don't manage that. Transitions are always hard. And then release the left foot down. And sway the hips out, shake the ankles out, whatever you need to do. So we'll come down to the floor. We'll do some forward folds and make sure we've got space for some longer holds at the end. We're going to come into a seated forward fold, so you can meet us there, or we'll just do one more vinyasa down if you've got the energy. So if you want to flow down, standing at the front of the mat, just again connecting to the breath, just noticing how the body feels after doing all this opening in the standing postures. And then when your inhale comes next, use it to raise the arms and look up. Exhale, forward fold, lifting the head. Inhale, look up, stretch, elongate the spine. Exhale, come straight back to downward dog. Just pause in downward dog again, a chance to elongate, traction the spine here. Recenter. And then we're going to look forward. You could jump, you could walk, you could step, but we're going to bring the feet forwards behind the wrists and sit ourselves down. Or any other variation that gets you down onto your bum. So let's go straight into a seated forward fold. So we'll focus more on the forward folds. So legs out in front, sitting on a block if you need. Establish your kind of firm thighs, dandasana, scooping in that lower belly, drawing the shoulders back and down, flexing the feet, toes pointing up towards the ceiling. Inhale, stretch the arms up. Exhale, hinging at the hips, so bend the knees if you need, bringing the hands down. Inhale, lengthen out to the lower back, and then exhale, drop the head. And we're going to take longer in these forward folds, maybe like 10 slow deep breaths. You might find that the posture kind of opens up for you with the breath. Don't force that. Sometimes we go into the posture and we've got our edge, and then we just kind of relax and settle into the posture. The body realizes it's safe, and the muscles let go. We might just find we can just go a little bit deeper after 5 breaths or so. But no expectation. Relax the jaw and the face, the back, the shoulders. So this posture is supposed to be very restorative, energy giving. There's different ways we can give ourselves energy, pranayama. Sometimes doing a dynamic practice gives us energy if we've been very sluggish and sedentary. And if we've been really active, busy, then the kind of stage of the class we're moving into now is usually more energy giving. Forward folds, restorative postures. Couple more breaths. And then slowly bring yourself back up. And draw the sole of the right foot to the inner left thigh. And then last week we did a whole different array of postures here, but we're just going to go forward. So classic Janu Shasana. Keep both feet flexed. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, forward. Again, about 10 breaths or 10 or so breaths. We're not being pedantic. It's a nice long hold here. And do your next exhale, slowly coming up. So now simply swap sides. So when you're ready, stretching the right foot out, left foot, left sole to the inner right thigh. Keep both feet flexed all the way through. So even though we're kind of moving into a less dynamic phase, still keep the integrity. Inhale, stretch up. Exhale, take that forward fold, rocking the head. Right leg active, right foot active. Releasing the jaw. Check you're not frowning. Try to relax the shoulders. But we do want to have gentle contraction on the front body, so you can be gently drawing the navel back to the spine, gently drawing up on the pelvic floor, very subtle. And again, keeping that right leg strong, toes up to the ceiling. Then allow your body to show you if there's a little bit more space after a few breaths. It wants to go a little bit deeper without force. It's if there's an invitation from the body, not the mind trying to make it happen. And then end of your next exhale, just slowly coming up. So we'll just try another forward fold. It's not one we do that often. We'll try Marichyasana A. So I'll face this way. So I've got my left leg out in front, and the right heel is close to the buttock, and there's a gap. There's a gap between the right foot and the inner left thigh. And we kind of lean to the left and stretch up through the right side. And then we cut as low as we can down, sideways on there, and reach as far forward as possible. So we're inside the right leg. And then we take the right arm out to the side. And that just might be as far as we get. We might just be kind of here somewhere or much higher up, it might all feel really awkward and compressed around that right shoulder. That's normal. Just do what you can here, unless it's creating any pain, true pain, and then skip this one. Some of you, if you're quite low down and your elbow is free, might be able to start the wrap. So you bend that right arm and you see if you can take the left arm off the floor and reach for the right hand behind the back. If you happen to have a yoga strap handy, you could hold it in the right hand and maybe hold the end of the other end of the left hand if you're not quite there at the bind. So there's an option to bind, but it doesn't matter where we are. We then fold forward. So we're getting the forward folded version of this. Obviously, there's a lot there running around that right hip in this one, but it's still a forward fold. So do what you can, breathe as deeply as you can. I also find bound postures very energizing. So that's why I include it this evening. Those that have bound. We won't stay as long, just a couple more breaths. And then inhale, look up and lengthen your spine, wherever you are, and then slowly exhale to release. You might need to just massage that right leg if it's feeling challenged by that, and then we'll swap sides. Yeah. So right leg out extended, left foot as close to the heel as possible. Again, you've got that gap, so your outer left ankle is kind of more or less in line with the left outer hip. And I like to lean to the right to get as much length as I can in that left side body. So I'm stretching up, and then I'm keep that stretch. So you're stretching forward as you get as low as you can. Because eventually you want your kind of left armpit kind of glued to the front of your shin. It's not going to happen overnight. It's a journey. You might be more like the elbow. And we just either keep the arms extending out to the side or find the bind, but then we take that forward fold. So I know for some of us, this can feel a very kind of constricted, awkward posture, and it doesn't feel like there's much going on. Just do what you can here, unless it's creating pain. And of course, once we've made the shape, our focus is as deep a breath as possible, especially in the more involved postures. Don't forget the breath. We tend to forget to breathe and hold the breath when things get challenging, and that's exactly when we need to breathe more deeply. Couple more breaths. And then at the end of your next exhale, we inhale to look up, exhale to release. Well done. Stretch out that left leg. If you need to do anything to just ease out the spine, possibly you might just feel like you need to take the hands behind you and just have that little arch in the back here. That might feel good, just to kind of even out. And then walking the hands forward so we come back to the neutral spine of Dandasana. So just as we started the seated sequence, let's just come back to that, because it gives us an opportunity to just neutralize everything for a moment. And then we're going to move onto the hips. So coming into Baddha Konasana, bringing the soles of the feet together, sitting up on a block if you need. Maybe we want to take the hands behind us to scoop the hips forward, but we want to get the heels as close to the groin as possible, and then hold the outer edges of the feet here, if available, or we can keep the hands behind us or hold the shins, whatever we need. If you've got the feet or the shins, kind of lift up through the spine, and it's almost like you're wriggling the shoulders back and down to bring the chest forward through the upper arms, and maybe slightly draw the chin in. Connect to your pelvic floor, have the subtlest of activation on the pelvic floor, just that lift of the center of the perineum, ever so gentle. And again, ever so gentle sense that you're drawing a thread below the navel back towards the spine as well. So those 2 points kind of meet somewhere deep in the lower belly, but really subtle. Maybe close the eyes, it feels good, or soft gaze. And just connect to your breath here. We've got a bit of a forward fold theme. If you do wish to forward fold here for the last few breaths, if you need to come out at this point, do, but otherwise stay where you are, or keeping the elbows there, maybe just taking the chest and the head forward. And if you're getting quite close to the floor, maybe you could stretch the arms out just to help you get a little bit deeper into that forward fold, and dropping the head. If it's too intense, just stay vertical, no problem. And then slowly walking the hands back in, bringing yourself up. Great. And then just stretching the legs wide, and we'll just do one more forward fold and then come down onto our backs. So nice wide leg stance with the toes pointing up to the ceiling. You can just stay upright. This feels enough. We're opening the inner seam of the leg, the kidney meridian, really good for bringing energy into our body to open the kidney meridian. Or we can start to walk the hands forward. So just come into the deepest stretch that feels nourishing, energy giving for you. So it could be upright, it could be forward, relax the jaw and the face. You don't have to blast to your deepest expression of this posture necessarily. We're going more into a yin restorative feel. At least 10 slow deep breaths. Quality of breath, not quantity. And then at the end of your next exhale, just begin, or when you're ready, if you need a bit longer, sometimes you just need a few more breaths, but when you're ready, start to walk the hands back in. And use your hands behind the knees to help bring the legs together. And come down onto our backs. So we will do one back bends, because back bends are also very energizing. There's different, like I say, there's different ways to give ourselves energy through dynamic opening practice and more restorative closed practice. So both give energy in different ways. So you can kind of feel in your own practice this evening what's really serving you. And it changes day to day, of course. So we'll do one back then. We'll try and stay up to 10 breaths, 5 to 10 breaths, and then we'll go back into a forward fold. We'll come up to seated and go into a forward fold from there. Okay, so when you're ready, heels into the buttocks, hands down, feet are hip distance apart, and inhale to lift the hips, maybe interlacing the hands underneath you. If your body does feel open enough for a deeper back bend, feel free, but just be aware we've not necessarily prepped the body for that much. And breathe as deeply as you can to open the chest. Rank that chest open with your inhales. Or open the heart space with your inhales. This is very energy giving. Legs working hard. So if it's too much for you, you could always use a block under the sacrum if you're enjoying the restorative vibe more. And when you feel like you've done between 5 or 10 breaths, or whatever feels right, just slowly roll the spine back down, from upper back to lower back, consciously placing the sacrum down, maybe just moving the shoulders towards the top of the mat, just to open out the whole of the upper back to meet the floor. Just take a moment, just here, with the knees bent, skin of the back softening into the floor support, kind of melts the spine and the sacrum into the floor at the moment. Just discharging the excess energy. And then our counter pose, we usually stay on our backs to counter pose, but today we're going to come up to seated. So you might want to roll to one side. You might feel okay to just kind of push yourself straight up. So find your way back up to seated and basically just come straight forward into quite a soft version of the forward fold. So you might bend the knees a little bit. You might not be super disciplined in the activation of the legs, but there is still some awareness and integrity in the legs, toes more or less up to the ceiling. And again, we want to stay for at least 10 breaths. So count yourself 10 slow, deep, full breaths. And please don't rush your 10 breaths, but when you are done, take your time, slower the better. When you are done, we're going to come down onto our backs again. So you can just roll yourself out when you're done so I can see that you're done. But no rush. And we're going to make space for an inversion. A long inversion. So inversions are, again, very energy giving. So if you are, you tune in, we've had kind of two threads of energy giving practices this evening, more yang, I suppose, dynamic, more yin, restorative. If you're really enjoying the more soft restorative postures, you could at this point go to the wall and take your legs up the wall, take your side hips up to the wall and then swing your legs so they're at the wall and your buttocks are touching the wall. You could also, if you've got a chair or a sofa nearby, just drape your legs over the sofa. I love doing that. So imagine that's the edge of the sofa, it's the top of the sofa. But if you're enjoying the more active practice, we're going to do shoulder stand and possibly headstand if you wish. So we're going to give lots of space for inversions. So everybody's going to do shoulder stand or legs at the wall. If you're doing legs at the wall, you could just stay for the whole inversion section, which would be a lovely restorative opportunity. Otherwise, shoulder stand, I think everybody in this class knows shoulder stand. If you've got any questions, you can ask, but otherwise just bring yourself up to a shoulder stand in your own time. And again, we're going to just give ourselves time. So when I do shoulder stand, I like to be up here for at least 20 breaths if I can. So coming up, and we're taking our 20 breaths, or as many as we can. And again, quality, not quantity. About halfway in, you can, it's great, Miriam, you can try moving your hands higher at the back to see if the hips will go a little bit higher. Don't force that, but just explore, because as always, the edge kind of shifts. And when you get to the end of your 20 breaths, you're welcome to come out. But further invitations, something I've really been enjoying this week, is to keep one leg up in the ceiling, up stretching up, and drop the other down towards the floor behind the head. This is totally optional. You can just stay where you are, you can roll out, or you can explore this. If the foot doesn't touch the floor, don't worry. You just kind of let it dangle. It's not as nice. I think it's nice when you get the feedback. You might not stay as long. You get the floor down, you can kind of use the feedback of the floor to extend, and then after a few breaths, swap sides, of course. Coming back up to legs together first, and then swapping sides. Great, nice, lovely cat, Kaz, lovely. And again, at this point, when you've done both sides, you can roll out, or you can bring both legs up to the ceiling again, and then bring both of them down into the plough behind you. If you need to come out at any point, do. Don't. There's nothing to prove here. We're not doing a competition. But just if you're still feeling good, come into plough. Support the back if the feet don't touch down, or interlace the hands or hold the mat if they do. Come down whenever you need. My final invitation, those who are still feeling good in plough, is to just do Karapidasa, bending the knees, letting the knees drop to the outsides of the temples, the ears, just for a few breaths. And then whenever you need, whenever you're ready, slowly rolling it. Those who are already down, just stay lying on the floor. We're all going to do a counter pose in a moment. Those who are legs at the wall, stay where you are. Beautiful. Okay, so I think we're more or less all down, so we're on our way down. So when you're down, just pause for a moment. Those at the wall, just maybe bend the knees into the chest for a breath or two, and roll to one side and start to make your way back to your mat, into the room, the center of the room. Or you can stay where you are, as long as you can see me. Those who've done shoulder stand, we're going to do the fish, Matsyasana, one of my favorite energizing postures. So we bring the hands to the buttocks, elbows down on the floor, and we lift the chest, we lift the space behind the chest, and we drop the head. And we breathe into the chest. And the beauty of this posture is when you can start to touch the collarbones with the breath in this posture and really activate the back muscles to draw the shoulders back. If you are quite comfortable here, you could also walk the elbows further out and bring the back of the head down onto the floor and bring the hands onto the thighs. So you're just supported on the head and the legs, optional. Or keep the elbows down. And then if you've taken the elbows off the floor, come out, bring them back down and lift the head, and then everybody bring the chin in towards the chest and slowly roll yourself down onto the mat. Well done, really great job. And just take a moment, just lying on the floor. So I said we were going to do headstand, but actually, realistically, unless you really want to do a headstand at this point, I think I'd rather just keep it more spacious. So just take a moment here. So shoulder stand is sometimes called the mother posture. It's profound posture. Just give yourself a moment. Okay, so let's just kind of start to cool down. We haven't really done outer hips, so let's just do a thread the needle, get into the outer hips, which can be a place where stagnant energy kind of pools and gets stuck. So bending the right leg, place the outer ankle on the front of the left thigh. You can keep the left foot on the floor and just be really restorative and just make this shape and stay here. Otherwise, you pick up the left foot, feed the right hand through the gap into the right leg, and hold the back of the left knee or the front of the left shin. Relaxing the upper back. The only thing we're really activating here is the right ankle. We're flexing the right foot. Everything else is pretty relaxed. Left foot is kind of floppy. Face and jaw is relaxed. And then just turn it into a twist, release the left foot down, keep everything in the same shape. So keep that right ankle flexed and pressing into the left thigh as we let everything come out to the left until the left outer ankle and leg is down. Right knee is pressing, pointing up to the ceiling. We can extend the arms out and look over the right shoulder. We can maybe press the inner right thigh away from us. Open up that right hip. Slow, deep breaths. We're nearly Shavasana. Really slow the breath down. Maybe slacken the jaw. Belly breathe. Okay, so we're not spending super long in these postures, but I want Shavasana to be a good amount of time. So coming back to the center, swap sides. So again, the only thing that's really active is the left ankle. Keep the left foot flexed, press the outer left ankle into the front of the right thigh. You can keep the right foot on the floor, otherwise picking it up, left arm feeds through that little gap underneath the left leg. So holding the back of the right knee or interlacing the hands around the front of the shin. Keep left foot flexed. Relax everything else. The face, the shoulders, the belly. Focus on slow, deep, nourishing breaths. And then releasing that right foot down. Again, hold the shape, keep the left foot flexed, pressing into the right thigh, allow the right leg to drop out so all the way to the floor. Sole of the left meets the floor, left knee's pointing up. Extend those arms out, look over the left shoulder. Belly breathe, space into the left side of the body here. Left chest, left belly, left hip. And very gently bringing yourself back to the center, planting both feet down. Maybe you just want to give yourself one final hug of the knees into the chest, maybe head up to the knees, and then we'll come to Shavasana. So we'll make sure we've got about 4 or 5 minutes in Shavasana. So again, I'm afraid I'm going to just go over by a couple of minutes. So if anybody's got a problem with that, just give me a wave. No more than 2 minutes. So check your central alignment. That you're warm. Anyone in the room need a blanket? Got blankets around. And let go of the body. And just before you allow yourself to drop into the void of Shavasana, just check in with your energy, how your body feels compared to the start. And you sense aliveness, energy moving, tingling, buzzing, warmth. Or maybe just a greater sense of embodiment or peace and relaxation after the work. Just allow yourself to drop into a very relaxed, restful state here, giving your body to the floor, allowing yourself to be held and supported. Noticing any parts of your body that are resistant to being held, just gently inviting them to let go and trust. Relax your jaw, your face, relax your eyeballs in their sockets, relax your belly down to the deepest layers of belly muscles, relax your groin, your pelvic floor. Feel your heart relax and expand in its cavity. And all your organs just settle into their rightful place. Just let go. Relax. Relax. as always, in fact, especially this evening with our theme of restoring energy. If you need a longer Shavasana, please listen to that and take it if you can. But if you need to finish with me, you want to finish with me at the end of the class, and just start to deepen the breath. Start to bring movements back, your fingers and toes. And then take any stretches that feel good. And just gradually returning to seated in your own time. Maybe let's just close, bring our palms together. Maybe close the eyes. Just acknowledge yourself for taking the time to practice this evening. Give yourself gratitude for getting on the mats, doing a nourishing, energy restoring practice. Well done, you. And anything else you're grateful for. And feel complete. Open your eyes again. Thank you all for sharing practice with me. Namaste. Hope you enjoyed.